welcome you to tonight's hangout. Definitely, I want to tell you thank you for coming by, getting some powerful information. If you are in the network marketing business, in the network marketing industry, okay, you're about to get some information tonight that's going to truly revolutionize the way you do business and truly give you a different perspective into team building and the concepts behind it. So, first and foremost, again, I want to welcome all our guests to tonight's hangout. And again, my name is Roger Silvera. I've been an industry veteran, if you want to call it that, for roughly about 6 years now. And I've been in the network marketing profession for that long. And I am currently an internet marketing or internet network marketing professional. What does that mean? I predominantly build my business online, and really excited about, again, sharing this information with you tonight and how it can benefit you and your specific business. So with that said, I want to go through a couple things here real quick. Make sure that we give enough time to get our viewers time to jump on to the hangout. So give me about 60 seconds and we will get started here accordingly. All right, sit back, take some notes. Or actually get a notepad to take notes on, get a bottle of water or your favorite drink, and we'll get started here in a minute. Thanks. Okay, guys, we are back, and I definitely want to go ahead and get started this evening. Again, welcome to all of our guests that are here tonight to learn about duplication secrets in your network marketing business. Again, my name is Roger Silvera. I want to welcome you to tonight's hangout. And again, this hangout is predominantly catered to network marketing professionals that are looking to gain knowledge in terms of how to build their teams more effectively. And, if you're like me, you built a team and maybe at one point kind of fell apart on you, and maybe you're a producer and haven't been able to build a team as strong as you would like. So this hangout is just to kind of give you just some basic concepts and an overview, just a little bit into some of the things, the techniques and strategies that you can use to employ to get better results in terms of building an overall team culture, building an empire within your network marketing business. And what we're also going to do is I'm going to share with you some information that this coming Saturday, one of my esteemed mentors and colleagues, Mr. David Wood, is going to be hosting a live webcast, which is actually going to be phenomenal, where you get to learn from a 8-figure earner, for that matter, a multimillionaire in the industry, on how to actually build teams very effectively, and to build it where you build it with beyond your sphere of influence. Okay, you build it to where you can create a lifestyle where you can step away from your business and be able to have the business, create cash flow on demand, which is all in a sense all we want at the end of the day, is to create a business where we don't have to necessarily be directly involved with it after so many years being in business, whatever the case may be, or so much time for that matter being in business. So again, want to share those concepts with you, share some things with you up front. So let's kind of dive into the meat and potatoes of tonight's training, so that you can see exactly what we're going to be doing here tonight. So I'm actually going to share my screen, and let's go ahead and get started, guys. Okay, so one of the things I want to share with you is that a lot of people, and I'm using this off of one of our, this is called an affiliate playbook, and it's actually a program that we have with inside of my primary company, which is Empowered Network, called the Team Building Formula. Okay, and through the team building formula, I'm going to share with you just different concepts just to whet your appetite and actually go over some things that I know from personal experience that I've had some issues with, and how I've been able to, in a sense, overcome them by putting some systems and processes in place. People will ask me, well, Roger, how do we actually go about building a large distribution network? First and foremost, it's all about sponsoring and recruiting. Okay, if you don't know how to recruit, or you don't know how to sponsor, or you don't know how to sell for that matter, none of this stuff will make any sense to you. That's just bottom line. So the key, first and foremost, if you're taking notes, is to really master the art of selling and recruiting. Okay, now how you actually run a business that duplicates beyond your sphere of influence is through systems and also managing expectations. Here's the thing that a lot of people have. They have a lottery mentality when they come into this business. They have a very limited mindset. Okay, they think this is a get rich quick type of deal, which in reality it's not. Okay, and if you're looking for that, this is probably not the webinar for you. This long hangout, and you probably want to jump off the line. Okay, just being honest with you. However, if you're here to really build a strong business, if you really want to learn how to really build a long-term income, okay, because passive income is one thing, but passive income can be an illusion, to be quite honest with you. It's really all about building a sustainable income that's ever increasing over the amount of time that you're in business, okay? So a couple things here. It says here's some of the challenges that you could be facing with relation to building your network marketing business. Now, you probably, if you're on this line, you might have recruited some people, okay? You build an organization and your team won't duplicate, okay? There's some different reasons for that, okay? Number one, it could be managing your people, okay? If you're managing your people, you're suffocating your people in terms of helping them grow, okay? If you feel like you got to be involved in every single thing, that's where your organization is going to fall apart, because in a sense, what they're doing is relying upon you specifically to get everything done, all right? You had people on your team work very hard and they're getting no results at all. Okay, maybe you had a leader that you had leave your team. Okay, and maybe you just don't know what to do right now. These are all things that are all challenges. Okay, they're not problems, they're challenges. Okay, if you look at it from a mentality perspective, people will say, well, that's a problem. No, not really. It's actually really a challenge or an issue that can be resolved with proper expectations, proper planning. Excuse me. So the key is to create total freedom, the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want, from wherever you want, and have a total formula that's in place in order to accomplish it. Okay? So a couple of core concepts that we want to go over. First, learning that there is a team system in place. Okay? One of the things that my mentor told me is that, Roger, in the beginning, people like to develop these team names and team concepts. I was that. I developed a team name and wanted to branch out and really lost sight of the bigger vision, because actually it was a bigger organization. When I first got started in network marketing, there was actually a bigger team that had a bigger vision, had a very, very refined system in place. And it's really about succumbing to the system, okay? Being a product of the system, okay? You'll know the difference between someone who is constructing a team system and someone who shouldn't. Somebody that's just getting started should not be building team systems. Let's just be honest on that, okay? You want to encourage healthy team duplication by building systems that your team can use. Once you've established, okay, hear what I'm saying, once you've established, okay, a level of credibility and trustworthiness in the marketplace, okay? I don't have a team system, okay? I'm not at the point where I can create a team system, all right? And I'm very transparent and honest with you when I'm letting you know, look, I haven't made multiple six figures in this industry, okay? But what I do know is I'm linked up with very, very successful people that have, okay? And one of the things I will tell you is that I'm not trying to duplicate something, let me take that back. I'm not trying to create something from scratch. I'm trying to implement what's already been taught, okay? And use that to the best of my advantage so that I can create the results that I desire. Okay, let's understand duplication for a little bit, if we may. Duplication is when your team can sell stuff without you having to be there. Okay, duplication is also, okay, building something in a way where whereby the act of selling it causes other people to sell. Okay, but what causes that engine to go and click and click and click? It's basically your ability to sell and your ability to lead from the front. Okay, people are not going to follow what you say, but they're going to follow what you do. In a sense, duplication is kind of hard because you have unique skill sets and talents that you bring to the marketplace nonetheless. The key here is you want to be able to, okay, you want to be able to lead by example, and then people will follow your lead and follow your example accordingly, and they're going to create the results that they want from there, and you be the financial benefactor from that. So when you change your belief system, you change the way you act. It also changes. So let me repeat that again. When you change your belief system, the way you act also changes. Okay, we're creating belief changes on the inside. Okay, hear me out. We're creating belief changes on the inside that affect people on the outside. Here's the thing: it's not all about selling products and recruiting people, ladies and gentlemen. This business is a personal development tool with a compensation plan attached to it. Okay. You must, and I repeat, you must become a better person than you were yesterday. Okay, if you don't, the business will not grow. The one saying that I always heard my mentor say was, "You grow the people, and then the people grow the business." Okay, you grow the people, and then the people grow the business. Okay, belief changes on the inside produces action changes on the outside. Okay, but you need to have a compelling vision. Okay, if you don't have a vision for your people to get encompassed and have the ability to get behind you, okay, you won't build a sustainable business, and nor you will build a long-term career in this industry. Okay, you can sell your company and your products, but more importantly, you're selling your vision in terms of what you do. Okay, here's the thing: have more conversations. Okay, have more conversations than essentially trying to sell somebody. Have a conversation with somebody. What do they want? What do they desire? People are real people. Okay, that's the way they're going to stay around you, is when and they're connected to you because of a common purpose and a common goal. Your motivation, okay, is something internal that doesn't change. Okay, if people can't get inspired from within, they're not going to build a sustainable team. Okay, so these are some of the things that are very, very important, some core concepts to really understand when you're building this type of business. And I'll tell you right now, when I first got started, I didn't know that. I will tell you even further, I knew that to a degree, and then I wouldn't implement it. Okay, it was hard-headed. And I'll be honest with you, I'm being very hard-headed. But after a while, you start to come around your senses, and you start to now look at things from a different perspective. And now things are starting to crank over, which is great. Okay. Now, here's some team building principles that I want to share with you. It all comes down to duplication. Okay. So let's kind of talk about this. Number one is a law of duplication. Okay. You want to tell your story, okay, in a way where it inspires people. Okay. Because people retain stories in their head. Okay. And they will retain your message. If you can tie the story in with your vision, okay, it's a very, very powerful concept. Okay. The law of the third party. Okay. Where you can edify somebody that is a social authority, in a sense, a celebrity authority in this industry. Okay, there's plenty of people that I know of that are very, very successful in this business that command, the room, command the stage in terms of being online, in terms of doing an online event, whatever the case may be. These people command celebrity authority. Here's the thing. You want to develop what they call a power triangle, meaning that you want to connect the people, okay, to that person and edify that person, credible subject matter expert, okay? So that's the law of the third party. The law of promotion says everything you're doing, from selling to events to speaking, is always promoting all the time. You want to promote from one event to the next event, to the next event, to the next event, and it's always an element of culture that you're doing that with. Okay, you're indoctrinating people into the culture immediately from the get-go. Okay, because if people don't start to promote events, and things of that nature all the time, what they do is they lose sight of what the main thing, keeping the main thing is really, understanding that what makes the engine go around is promoting events, selling and recruiting, things of that nature. These are basic necessities of this business in order for you to have success. The time gap law, okay? Every time you don't do something that you could do with someone, you're losing time. Now, this mistake will replicate. Let me repeat that. Every time you don't do something that you could do with someone, you're losing time, okay? What duplicates has to work, and what works has to duplicate. All duplication strategies must maintain the same workload, or they turn into a time trap, okay? Here's the thing. If what you're doing, okay, is causing you to lose time, okay, it's effective, but it's causing you to lose time, it may not be as effective as possible, okay? Duplication is very, very important, but at the end of the day, you don't want to sacrifice and I don't want to have the activity sacrifice time in a sense where you're now enslaved to that particular activity. Okay, you want to build a business that is growing without you organically, to where it can run and sustain itself. Okay, the law of the fast start. The first activity that you want someone to do with new people join your business should result in someone else joining. Okay, a recruit for recruit for recruit for recruit. Okay. There's a concept in network marketing called tap rooting. Okay, it's getting a recruit for recruit for recruit for recruit for recruit. Okay, so the first activity when somebody joins is actually helping them get somebody immediately. Okay, what that does is it creates excitement, it creates buzz, it creates and it limits the attrition rate. Okay, because the attrition rate in network marketing is absolutely horrible. Okay, but you keep people around by getting them excited, getting them pumped up, and by getting a win, an early win underneath the belt can do that. Okay, how many of you guys are excited, man? Let me check the chat here real quick. I'm going to check the chat here. Let's see here. Okay, in fact, I'm not going to do that. All right, it's too much job. Okay, viral sustainability. Okay. Whatever you're doing needs to sustain itself. For example, when you start a process, you need to be able to sustain itself when you remove yourself from the process. Okay, very, very powerful. Okay, whatever you're doing needs to sustain itself. For example, when you start a process, it needs to sustain itself when you remove yourself from the process. Okay, and that's huge. Okay, law of duplication levels. Okay, for something to duplicate, you have to give it what's working to people who don't know how to do it, and it must work without them understanding why it works. Let me repeat that. For something to duplicate, you have to give what's working to people who don't know how to do it, and it must work without them understanding why it works. Okay? And then leaders come from somebody else's sphere of influence, and that person is typically not a leader. Okay? Everyone knows that a leader knows a leader, but not everyone is one. Okay? Okay? Everyone knows a leader, but not everyone is one, because it takes a certain special person to be a leader. Okay, and it takes somebody special in order to build this type of business, to be able to lead by example, but then also show people how it's done itself. Okay, it's very, 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 very important. Okay, part two. Okay, this is law of duplication here. Hopefully this is some good stuff, guys. I hope you guys are getting a lot out of it. Okay, module 4, team building principles. Okay, part 2, law of duplication. Okay, the law of the producing leader. Do everything in groups. Okay, only teach what you're doing. Personal conversations should always sell and promote. Okay, law of numbers. Your main focus should be on 2 items: bring the numbers in, okay, to find the leaders, and then teaching the leaders to bring in the numbers. Very simple. Training efficiency law. Okay, the system trains the people all the time. You don't train them, the system trains them. You don't train your team to train people. Okay, the only time that you're going to train people is when you're selling. Okay, training is a much better way to get people to meetings than selling. Okay, all right. So again, this is efficiency with time. You want to condense time frames. You want to be very productive with your time in order to achieve the maximum results that you desire. Okay, so these are some very, very pointing principles to consider. Okay. Now, part 3 is law of momentum and tap rooting. Okay. So law of momentum and tap rooting. Okay. Um, I wish I could get the chat here, but something, I'm not sure how I could do this. Let me see here. Um, Let me see if I can go here real quick. You guys have a chat feature here, guys. If you go to the Facebook group, guys, if you go to the Facebook group, click that link. You actually can sign in as a guest. Let me see if I can get it here real quick. Okay, I see that there's some folks on here. Great. Wonderful, wonderful. If you guys want to, chat here, that'd be great. Let me know, some comments, some questions. If you guys have any particular questions, that'd be great. Okay, let's continue. Let's definitely continue here. Wonderful. Okay, let's go back here. So laws of momentum and tap. Okay, the laws of momentum, and let me kind of define these in order so that you guys understand. So if you're taking notes, I want to write these down. The time gap law. Okay, every time something stops, you have to restart it again. You never wanted it to stop because it replicates and replicates on a massive scale. Okay, so people start and stop. People start and stop. People have to rebuild and constantly rebuild, and their organization falls apart and things of that nature. Is because they're building it wrong. Okay, they're managing their people. Okay, and that's one of the worst things you could do. So every time something stops, momentum is hard to get back when you lose it, ladies and gentlemen. Momentum is great when you have it, but it's very difficult to regain it. So again, you never want it to stop in terms of time, because then that can replicate and you can have a very, very serious issue on your hands. The system ambiguity law, okay? Because of the time gap principle, your system has to be built in a way that is timeless and ambiguous, or your processes and systems have to be recreated every time the market changes, and your momentum and synergy will restart at 0 every 6 months. Okay, let me repeat that. Because of the time gap principle, okay, your system has to be built in a way that is timeless and ambiguous, where your processes and systems have to be recreated every time the market changes. So you want to be very, very generic. You want to be very, very structured in a way where you don't have to have a lot of fancy bells and whistles. Everything should be simplistic in nature, guys, with relation to your systems and processes in place. Okay. Now, the synergy effect law. You need to have one vision, one training system. Guys, here's one of the biggest problems that I see. One of the biggest problems that I see in network marketing. Okay. One of the biggest problems that I see in network marketing is that the leader doesn't have a clear-cut vision. They don't have a clear-cut training system and one cultural system to keep everything together. What happens is that a lot of the leaders that I see, what they'll do is they'll go to system, and then they'll go to this system, and they'll go to that system, and they'll confuse their whole team because no one knows what's going on. They don't know, okay, we're supposed to do this. Okay, now we're supposed to do this. Okay, well, now we're supposed to do this. You need one uniform vision, one unified training system, okay, and then one cultural system to keep everything together in connectivity, okay? That's the synergy effect law. It's very, very, very important to understand when you talk about momentum and you talk about tap rooting, okay? And that gets into tap rooting. Tap rooting is when you excite a person, you excite a person. But then if you excite someone below them in their organization, it excites everyone in the whole sponsorship tree. Let me give you an example, okay? If I recruit John, okay, and then I ask John, I said, listen, let's go ahead and if you're in traditional network marketing, okay, you want to help them find a recruit immediately, okay? Immediately within that first 24 hours, let's get them somebody, get a win underneath their belt. That's why we find Susan, okay? Now, Susan, I'm going to work with Susan, okay? And I'm going to say, Susan, I'm going to help you build an organization, okay? And I'm going to help you build it where I build one line of sponsorship all the way down to help you build that line. Are you ready to go? Are you really excited about, being able to work with me directly, okay? It's like lighting the fire from the bottom, okay? Because now, even if Susan or John don't do anything, if I find Tim below Susan, now Tim is the leader and he's a superstar. Now, guess what? It ignites the fire from the bottom up. It gives everybody now the excitement and actually the initiative to actually, get off their butt and do something. So that's the taproot effect. Very, very powerful. The law of the lid. Now, John C. Maxwell actually coined this, and it says people will only be able to grow a business to the capacity that is limited by their internal belief sets, their knowledge, their level of action, and level of work. You are the lid in your organization. If your skill sets are below average, or they're just average at best, and you're not improving, guess what? Your organization only grows to the effect that you do. To some people, that's sobering. I want to let that simmer. Your organization grows to the extent that you do. If you're not growing, okay, your organization is pretty much dying. If you want your team to grow, you have to grow. Your team will only grow as big as you are. Again, okay, your team grows. If your team grows bigger than you are, usually will fall back down because that can't be sustained, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the law of the lid, okay? These are very, very important principles when it comes to momentum and things of that nature. And distractions, okay? If something negative happens in your business, you'll solve it with a promotion that's louder than a distraction. Wow. Okay, let me repeat that. If something negative happens in your business, ladies and gentlemen, you solve it with a promotion that's louder than the distraction. Okay? Let me see if there's any comments here. Hey. Someone type in a comment here real quick. I just want to see if this comment features working here. Someone say, hey, let me know that you're here. Can you guys do that for me? Appreciate it. I like to communicate with you guys. I just don't want to be lecturing at you guys. If we can have a conversation, that'd be great. While waiting for people to do that, let's go back to the information here. Okay. Again, so these are some of the principles in relation to law of momentum and taproot. Okay. Let me go back here real quick. So no one. Okay. All right, guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me and if you guys are getting this information. All right. Let me know here in the chat. That'd be great. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Part 4. Okay, let's go to part 4. Laws of belief and dream building. Okay, so we built upon some principles here in terms of duplication. Okay, in terms of understanding the aspect of a team system and things of that nature. Who should be using a team system? Why? When's a good time to create a team system? Things of that nature. We talked about some different laws and different principles here. Okay. Now we're going to get into laws of belief and dream building and vision. Okay. New blood is the lifeblood of any organization. Okay. And it's the furthest person downline who's the most excited and who produces the most. You want to constantly look for who's new so that you can get out in front of people. Okay. That is very, very important. The new blood is the lifeblood of any organization. Okay. Never forget that. Law of belief change. People will not change what they're doing if you don't change what they believe. Ooh, that needs to be repeated. People will not change what they're doing if you don't change what they believe. Everything that you're doing and saying must be done with a specific intention, creating belief shifts in the people around you, which will change their energy. Okay, the law of belief change. People will not change what they're doing if they don't change what they believe. Okay, it's all about belief. It's all about programming, ladies and gentlemen. The law of the dream builder. The core task of a team builder is building the dreams of their team. Okay, that's why connectivity. That's why understanding what your team wants and desires are. The core desires, not their surface desires. Their core desires. What are their core desires? Do you understand your team? Do you understand the needs of your team? Okay. When a person builds a dream on the inside, they build a new world on the outside. Okay. By helping them build a dream, they automatically start to create a new world. Building dreams builds your team. Okay. And very, very important to have activities with your team so that you can start to cultivate this dream vision, this energy about your team that starts to now create a magnetic field force. Okay. When people arrive in your team, they can feel that field force. Okay. The law of alignment, okay? Every action you must be done in full alignment with belief in yourself, belief in your company and its products, belief in your prospects and your list, belief in your team and leadership, belief in what you do is going to create the result that you want, okay? Okay, the law of alignment, you must be aligned in a certain manner, okay? If any one of these things are off, okay, ladies and gentlemen, you won't create the results that you desire, and you're going to sabotage your success. Absolutely, you're going to do that, and you don't want that to happen. So the law of the vision, your vision needs to be compelling, okay? How many of you have created a compelling vision for your team? Okay. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. That lets me know that people are okay. Perfect. So law of the vision. Your vision needs to be compelling in to people in your organization and people that you're looking at joining. Okay. So law of the vision. Again, start to look at your vision of your team. Is it compelling enough? I mean, read it out loud a couple times and to see would you be more vision? All right. It's really something to consider because a lot of people don't have a compelling vision for their squad, and that's why you see people maybe disenchanted over a period of months because again they don't have nothing to hold on to. Okay, you don't give people something to shoot for. Okay, because their vision, if your vision is large enough to encompass their vision, that's truly now the mark of a leader. Okay, principle of the inner circle. As your organization gets more and more removed from you generationally, then you get more powerful because you start to build from a space of building it beyond your sphere of influence. Okay, beyond your sphere of influence. That's what you want. Is you want to create leadership in your organization beyond your sphere of influence. Okay, you don't need people in a sense. You don't need to manage every little part, every little intricacy. Okay, that's a control freak. Okay, and that's what most people do, and that's what I did in the initial part of my business back in 2008. Even in the first couple of years, is that I was trying to control everything. It was one of the worst decisions that I ever made, and consequently, my business was up and down. I had to start and stop a lot of times. I recognize that now because a lot of these principles that I'm sharing with you, okay, these are more of ahas that I've had over the last year or so, last 2 years, okay. Having a compelling vision, okay, dream building with your organization, okay, creating a culture. Do you guys maybe have a dream team? Like what our organization is called a dream team. So we have leadership council. Okay, we have a leadership council, which is our board of directors, and that sets the parameters for the organization. Okay, what allows the organization to grow efficiently through systems. We set the systems. It's our president, which is Tracy Walker, and then from there we have a bunch of folks that are combined in a way where it is connected with her vision. Okay, her vision is big, but our vision can encompass or can be entwined with her vision. Okay, and so our vision is to grow the group collectively as a whole. Okay, but the leadership council is a great tool because it sets the foundation, it sets the processes in place so that everything is run smooth. What I would invite you to do is set up a leadership council in your group. Okay, I think it's a great idea if you guys do that. All right, how many of you guys like that idea? Set up a leadership council. Okay, to where you can start to have certain systems and processes in place so that when somebody comes on board, they know exactly what to do. From like in our case, when somebody comes on board, we have a new member coaching call. Okay, and we sit down and go over a game plan with that person for the next 90 days. These are the activities that we want to do. Okay, so you want to get people entwined and encompassed in that vision so people get excited about what you're doing. Okay, hopefully guys that makes sense, because I'm telling you, man, if you guys get this information, you can truly explode your business. And by the way, I want you guys to get access to this free report. It says the how-to guide for massive team explosion. Okay, this right here is going to be very, very powerful. So get your free report, guys. You can click on this link here and you can go ahead and do that. Okay, awesome. Okay, hope you guys are getting a lot of value from this. Here's a team activity system. Okay, Now, one of the things that we could do is create a schedule. Okay, the need to create a schedule. Okay, um, everything should be done in groups. Okay, so if you train as a team, if you recruit in waves and you train in waves, it's much more effective than trying to train one person at a time. Okay, so being able to train in waves and things of that nature, be able to do everything in groups, so schedule everything accordingly. Have weekly team meetings, planning lead generation, connecting with your list, connecting with your prospects. Have weekly team meetings and things of that nature to really effectively make sure that everyone's on the same page. Monthly activities, a monthly training event. That could be a live event, guys, or that could be an event online. Okay, I like to do a lot of online events. Okay, for my team. All right, so I think it's wonderful if we can incorporate something like this, a monthly activity training event. Okay, something quarterly, maybe around your national events where your team specifically just holds a quarterly event. It could be online, it could be live, but again, it keeps the team together. It keeps the team motivated and excited, because every 90 days, what happens, okay, guys, every 90 days, what happens is that your team, okay, is going to lose steam. They're going to lose a little bit of gusto, because if they're not seeing the results that they desire, they need that boost. It's like that national event every 90 days. If you have it every 90 days, it's kind of like that infusion, okay? But there should be an event every 90 days to refuel and re-energize, okay? To get people on the same wavelength. Benefits of having weekly meetings, okay? Preparation of content to teach your meetings will help you learn. Better communication, bigger list, okay? Again, the asset is your list, okay? And becoming an inspirational communicator, okay? The more effective, the more that you do these, the more effective a communicator that you can become, okay? When people gather together, they build relationships, okay? They have a mindset shift. They now start to believe certain things that now are compelled toward their vision, okay? What they want to accomplish, okay? They see other people doing it. Now they feel like they need to start working on themselves even harder so that they can now still be able to compete, okay? They have breakthroughs. At the end of the day, people start to have breakthroughs when they're around people of like minds. You can't not have a breakthrough mentally, okay? So that's what we want to have people do, is to create a breakthrough in their life and ultimately in their business, okay? So this is your team activity system, okay? Maybe setting up a system in that regard to help your team grow accordingly. Because again, it's one thing to bring people in, it's another thing to keep them around in a very, very cohesive culture. So here's some team building formulas, okay? So what is team building? Okay, it's getting your whole group to operate in a way where everyone works in one direction, producing sales. Formulas to build your organization, okay? Respond to something by selling, okay? Respond by upselling, okay? Respond by promoting. Respond to an objection by selling or promoting. And you want to use stories. You want to use stories, guys. Storytelling is one of the most effective ways to get your points across, okay? I just feel that this is absolutely one of the most powerful things you can do in order to gain the traction that you're looking for, okay? Get to the next level. Produce in width, okay, and you produce in depth, and you should you do it in a way that will duplicate, okay? Your width will create your wealth, okay? Your width will create your stability. Your depth will create the other way around. Apologize for that. Your depth, okay, will create your stability. Your width will create your income. That's what I meant to say. Your width will create your income. Your depth will create your stability. Okay, okay. If you have layers upon layers upon layers deep of leadership, okay, you will start to create the stability necessary. Okay. Edification. Every time someone gets a result, edify the people. Okay. Here's the key thing that a lot of people don't do. And this is where people's egos get in the way. Well, I'm not edifying that person because of whatever the case may be, there, whatever weird thought in their mind, or whatever the case may be. They don't feel like edification is important, or they skip over it, or they kind of humdrum over it. Listen, let me share something with you. Edification is absolutely critical in this industry. You must learn how to edify. You must learn to like people. okay? We are in a people business, okay? Every time somebody gets a result, if they're in your team or they're not in your team, you still want to edify them accordingly, okay? Conflict resolution. This is the quickest way to destroy your team, okay? You don't ignore the problem. You resolve the problem through constructive problem management, okay? And you do it in a way where people understand, or you hear different sides of the issue, and then you resolve it accordingly in a peaceful manner, okay? You never do anything belligerent, or you never do anything to sacrifice the validity or the future health of your organization, okay? So these are some things that I wanted to go over with you tonight, okay? I wanted to go over these with you tonight, and I think this is very, very imperative that we did that. And so one of the things that I want to share with you here, let me turn off the screen share here real quick. Okay. Hopefully you guys gained a lot of value out of that. We went over that in about 40 minutes, guys. That's absolutely the crust of the team building formula itself, is really understanding those key components to the entire repertoire of building a massive organization, okay? And I tell you, the key is first, number one, is learning how to produce, okay? Learning how to produce effectively. Second is, once you learn how to produce, is getting them indoctrinated into a culture where they feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves, okay? And then third is obviously, being able to connect people in a way where you're getting to know their core desires, and you're constantly reinforcing the vision in your team, constantly reinforcing the vision in your team, okay? Very, 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 very important. So what I want to do right now, the time that we have left, is I actually want to share with you that on September 27th, which is actually Saturday, Mr. David Wood is actually going to be sharing with you guys, okay, the concept of the team building formula, okay? A little bit more elaborate and in depth, and going to be some very strategic strategies and concepts that are going to be very, very important for you to understand in terms of building this thing to the next level, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this for a minute. I'm going to get a video here to play here for a minute, and I'm going to have you guys watch the video. I think you guys really will find true immense value. Do me a favor and go ahead and download the free report, okay? Go ahead and do that. I think it's very, very imperative that you do that. And let's go ahead and play the video. So give me 1 second, I can go ahead and set that up. 1 second.
There's no talking about it. So there's no talking you have. There's no talking about it. It's all the plan
you discover your true values. What you believe in, you discover your true value. You discover your true value.
It's not only about education.
What you believe in. People want to tell people that believe in something.
Hopefully you guys can see
It's not
that.
only about education. It goes beyond that. It's leadership. It's a community.
successful
That's
people
really what we
in
have
your
here.
industry. Where do you get good training from successful people in your industry?
We've been in this industry for over 9 years. I've learned more for 13 months than I have for the past 8+ years. That's no joke.
It's a small few place. If you compare it to our franchises out there.
And you're saving up for this specific purpose of purchasing information, education, and so I knew that he didn't take this lightly. You have to believe in something. Why do we all follow Dave? Because he's got a vision. He believes in something, and we know that he's going to make it happen.
The biggest thing you need to ask yourself is, are you taking your business seriously?
Financially, I've made over $90,000 in my first 90 days, which is incredible.
Really, the ability to get people to listen to you comes from social authority. I've also learned so much about business that I didn't know, and about online marketing that I didn't know beforehand. For example, selling high-ticket products, building a team, duplication.
That was kind of the turning point for me that made me realize that this is something that I can do. This is something that anybody can do. This is something that I'm going to do.
You know, you think about, like, what if you only put a couple dollars of gas in your car? Well, it's not going to get you very far. We wanted to fill up the tank and really fire on all cylinders, and it only made sense to have success quickly.
If you've earned money in Empower Network at least one time, everybody in the room that's earned a commission, everybody that's earned a commission, stand up.
I'm a big team builder, and some of the things I learned about team building, I was able to implement that in my own team. My team followed exactly what I did, because people don't do what you say, they do what you do. I found this system, and you don't name it yet. You just say, I found this system, because you want them to engage with you to the end. You know, I thought I knew a lot about affiliate marketing, but this has kind of opened my eyes to a whole bunch of new stuff that I didn't actually know before.
I wished that I would have found it, years prior, but I've spent 6 years struggling in the industry.
I focused on building more serious teams, and this product taught me to do that. This product taught me that less customer can bring more money.
Teaches the brand new person that's getting started how to really take their business and take it to another level.
The product line in Empowered in general just covers the science behind how to do everything in marketing.
We've built a huge team within Empower, and my team is duplicating better than it's ever done.
We had big dreams, and we really understood that if you want to do something different, you have to make bigger decisions than what you've made before. If you want to get a different result in life, you have to sometimes put yourself out there. What the products are really there for, to empower and to teach and educate someone how to literally just have a strong foundation in marketing in general, so that they can go out and just succeed in anything.
If you really have the desire, those people will make it happen. When you have enough desire, the universe conspires to make it happen. It is an amazing thing what people can do when they have a goal in front of them.
When people come in, they're not here just to win a lottery ticket, they're here to build a business. I honestly believe that the products are worth a lot more than we paid for them.
Folks, obviously the income examples discussed are extraordinary. The income claims presented are not intended to serve as a guarantee of income. Instead, they're designed to give you an idea of what's possible. Success in this business requires leadership, hard work, and dedication. Since we want to help you make an informed decision, we've gone above and beyond with our income disclosure document. If you want to see the average earnings, please visit the page at www.empowernetwork.com/income.php.
Till this day, just talking about it, I can see it like literally as if we were sitting there. We walk down these wooden stairs and we go to this beautiful waterfall. It has this whirlpool in the middle, and he jumps in, he's swimming away, and Dave has his back to him and we're talking. And I'm looking over at Justin.
I just screamed at the top of my lungs, like for my wife, and Dave overheard, and Dave, without hesitation, jumped in the waterfall, and he was able to somehow get me out, and I know he sacrificed almost losing his own life in order, to save me. So what happened as far as the breakthrough, I realized I can't take life for granted. This is a second chance to really make our lives count, to be able to leave an impact.
I think that was my breakthrough, not only just sitting there watching my husband take his last breath, but to watch a man that is not family to us. He's not his brother, he's not his father. To be honest, we were strangers. He was just the guy with the system, and he jumped in, and it said to me a lot about his vision. Dave didn't hesitate, and I think that's really what struck me most about this whole thing, just looking back at it so many times in life. You have a decision, or you have an opportunity in your life where you can make a decision, or you can make a change. You can take hold of life like Dave did, and he didn't hesitate. He asked Justin. He didn't wait for an answer. Once he didn't get it, he literally went in without thinking. He just took action.
When I first met Dave Wood, that's really where I knew that I was in the right place at the right time.
You know, believe in yourself. Look, I don't care what your teachers told you. I don't care what your parents told you. It doesn't matter. You want to know why? Because you can do things you can't imagine that you can do. Because you're a human being.
I had never come across a leader with that big a heart, that big a love, that great of a vision, and really the commitment, not to himself, not to his own company, not to his own bank account, but the commitment that he had to the people that he was trying to help. And that's when I knew I absolutely was in the right place. Not only did I feel excited about the Empower Network opportunity or enthusiastic, but I really felt honored to be a part of what we're doing.
That's somebody who... You want to know why? Because you can do things you can't imagine you can do. Because you're a human being.
I have never come across a leader with that big a heart, that big a love, that great of a vision, and really the commitment, not to himself, not to his own company, not to his own bank account, but the commitment that he had to the people that he was trying to help. And that's when I knew absolutely was in the right place. Not only did I feel excited about the Empower Network opportunity or enthusiastic, but I really felt honored to be a part of what we're doing.
That's something you... You want to know why? Because you can do things you can't imagine you can do. Because you're a human being.
I have never come across a leader with that big a heart, that big a love, that great of a vision, and really the commitment, not to himself, not to his own company, not to his own bank account, but the commitment that he had to the people that he was trying to help. And that's how I knew absolutely was in the right place. Not only did I feel excited about the Empower Network opportunity or enthusiastic, I really felt honored.
Okay, guys. 1 second here. Okay, guys. Anyways, but I was actually trying to test a new software out. I don't know if that actually came through the way I would want it to, but nonetheless, what I want you guys to do, okay, is send me a private message in Facebook. Okay, I'm going to get you access to September 27th, which is a Saturday, of course, a live webcast, which you're going to learn a little bit more about these principles that I share with you tonight, a little bit more in depth. There's going to be a lot more breadth and scope of what we went over tonight, and you can really truly gain a lot of access into how these principles can work into your business and how you can incorporate that into results. And so what I want you to do is send me a private message on my Facebook, okay, that you can gain access to this information on Saturday. It's a paid webinar. It's $17, but it's probably the best $17 that you're going to invest in your business. If you're truly serious about your business, guys, it's time to really take the initiative. Okay, send me a message and I can get you the information accordingly. I try to do some things with this screen sharing cast that I was doing, and I don't know if it worked at all, but nonetheless, as you can see from what you saw, that David Wood has a great heart. David Wood has a great passion for business in general, and I think you guys gain a lot of value from what he will be teaching on Saturday. So it's at 2 p.m. Saturday, okay, Eastern Standard Time, and you definitely want to be there. So again, send me a private Facebook message to my account, and I'll go ahead and get you access. I'll give you the link so that you can go ahead and get access to that. In the meantime, download the PDF document, okay, that's on the right of the Hangout page, okay. Right, let me see here. Let me do this here. Let me do the screen sharing one more time here. So yeah, on this page here, you want to definitely do the get the guide here, the the how-to guide for massive team explosion. Get that, and you can study that accordingly. That will prep you a little bit for Saturday, but definitely go ahead and send me a private Facebook message, and I will go ahead and get you that stuff accordingly. So, so let me just see here. Let me stop the screen sharing. Perfect. So guys, tonight's training is done. I want to welcome, I want to thank you, not welcome, I want to thank you for being here tonight. Hopefully you guys gain a lot of value. Shoot me a message in the event group. Let me know that you gained a lot of value. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday in our session that we'll have on the team building formula. Hopefully you guys gained a lot of value. And I'm looking forward to seeing your businesses explode here in the near future. With that said, have a good night. God bless, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.